Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday afternoon. Or excuse me, not Thursday afternoon, it's Thursday morning. I was wishing it was Thursday evening. But it's okay. I'm on my way to work. I have just today to do, and then it is the weekend for me. I have the weekend off. Nothing big going on this weekend. I know kids are out this weekend for fall break, which is really cool. Get to spend some extra time with Shane and Eliza this weekend. On top of all of that, get to spend some time with Kelly, which I always enjoy. So, yeah. I got to say this first before I go off on my tangent today, because I have a tangent I want to go off on. Today's October 18th. Today is Shane's birthday. He is 16 years old. I really, I love the boy to death. He's my oldest. I love him like none other. Happy birthday, Shane. Have fun tonight at the football game. And I will see you here this evening. So, with that being said, I gotta go off on a tangent today. And normally I don't do I do tangents sometimes, but sometimes I don't. This one I really want to. I've been watching the news, mainly for the weather. But I see on here that, I graduated high school 20 years ago. And I understand things are different between when I was in high school and where school is now. I completely understand that. I have no problems with that. The one thing I do have a problem with, and I can honestly say that it is an issue, is because when I worked in the juvenile system, I worked at 2 different juvenile centers, and one was in Union City, the other one was in Wayne. All the kids that were in the juvenile center, they all had one thing in common. They didn't have someone, a set of parents, grandparents, uncle, aunt, cousin, mentor, somebody. They didn't have someone older watching them. And I don't mean by watching them like you'd watch a baby, but watching them like you would watch, being in their life, being a part of their life, and helping them to mature, helping them to grow up, helping them to understand right from wrong, helping them understand, what it takes to be an adult in today's culture. A lot of those kids didn't have that. I say about 90% of those kids didn't have that. And now I'm watching the news, and you have the first day of school this year in one school district, they had a stabbing. Then, just about a few weeks ago, you had 4 students. 2 of them hold a kid down, and the other one violates them with the broom handle. Then you got another group that's going around. Then you got another group of kids that's going around beating up. That's literally beating up freshmen or something like that. Or really? Hold on a second. I've gone almost a week without smoking. So I'm trying to do as good as I can. When I was younger, you never heard of that crap happening. You never heard of, oh well, I'm gonna go try to murder a kid at school. No, you didn't hear about that. You don't hear about a group of kids going around beating up underclassmen. That's uncalled for. You especially never heard about kids holding someone down and violating them and hurting them. What happens is, what has happened is that we as a people, we as a nation, have come to the conclusion where, oh, you're participating in this sport, you're participating in this sport. Here's a little trophy for you for participating, even though you didn't win a single game. First place, you guys did really good, but so did the team that didn't win at all this year. I'm sorry. If I was in last place, I would start practicing my butt off just so I could get to the number 1 spot. You didn't get participation trophies when I was growing up. You either was first, second, or third. Other than that, you didn't get a trophy. You got to acknowledge that you played. You got to acknowledge that your team was there. But you didn't get a participation trophy. And now you got people that are so easily hurt over just the littlest things. The littlest things someone goes up and just throws up their arms like, oh, this is just, you can't do this, you can't do that. No, what? I can't speak my mind. Oh, I can speak my mind, but I can't defend this group of people, or this group of people, or this group of people, or this group of people. Grow up. Quit being little babies. And just understand that, you know what? The United States is a melting pot. You have people from all walks of life, all ethnicities, all sorts of people, all sorts of backgrounds, education, everything. But you extremists want to sit there and go, oh well, we can't offend the Native Americans because we because of just things of what they've done. You know what? We stole their land is what we did, is what our forefathers did. They came over, took the land, and bada boom, bada bing, we have the United States now. Well, you can't offend Mexicans. Why? Because they're from another country. I don't expect to offend Mexicans. They're hardworking people, and they're great. They're a great class of people. They're hard workers. Well, you can't offend African Americans or black people just because of what happened in the past. You know what? That's in the past. That happened years before I was even born. That happened long before I was born. Long before my parents were born. But you know what? If we don't learn from our mistakes, we're bound to make those same mistakes again and again and again. You have people that want to tear down statues from the Civil War because it represents slavery. If we don't teach our kids the mistakes that our country made while our country was still young, while our country was growing, while our country is still becoming the nation that it is today, if we don't teach our kids those important lessons and what we learned throughout history, we're gonna wind up repeating history again, and it's gonna be worse. You know, we sit here and say that, oh well, we're going to compare the president to some. The president is the president. He won the election. Get over it. Everyone's all fussing and fighting because the president's doing what he said. You know what? That's just like a parent parent finally looking at their kids and going, you know what? Enough's enough. It's time for this to happen, and it's going to happen. And as a country, we're fighting back as little babies, because we don't want someone to tell us what we can and can't do. It's not what we can and can't do. It's what we need to do, and it's what we ought to do by growing up as a country. But pulling ourselves up by the bootlaces, quit complaining about every little thing that happens in our life, and just start doing what we actually need to do, and that is to be a decent person towards each other. That is to be someone. You know, the greatest commandment in the Bible is do unto others as you will have them do unto you. So if you want to sit there and piss, moan, and complain, oh, well, I just don't like to do this because I don't want to do this, then you know what? Then don't do it, and then don't get ahead in life. You know, it's life, guys. We have to understand that as a nation and as a group of people, we need to just grow up and learn from our mistakes and better ourselves, and pray for our country, pray for the president, pray for our leaders, pray for the ones that are actually in control, that steer this country, not only steer the country on the ground level, but also at a state level, and then also at a municipal level. You know, we put people in offices for reasons. Wow, I've gone off on a really long tangent. And I still could go off on it longer. But I'm going to go ahead and end this. And, you know, today's Thursday. It's my Friday for my work week. You know, I may get on tomorrow. I may do one tomorrow, but maybe a little bit longer because I'll have more time. So, with that being said, my friends, I hope all of y'all have a great day, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Later.